All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What is going on, YouTube? We're back. Friday edition of the MLB Witching Hour. It's not NFL, but NFL is going to be here soon. Hopefully, everyone had a great last night in the Showdown Streets. We had a big night over here at SHIPITNation.com. Our guy Hoop continues to ship 5 figures over here on with his content. We had a couple members. One of our members shipped the first ever FanDuel Live final seat this year for NFL. That was good to see. Tons of other winning screenshots in the Discord. But we're going to give you some winners tonight for the MLB slate. Hopefully get some more winners, more screenshots in that Discord. Hamwich, I'll bring you in. Happy Friday, man. How'd your showdown go last night for that Chiefs and Lions game? Lions pulled the victory out. G. Risen told everyone, put the money on the Lions money line. They snuck it out. They got the job done. G. Risen got paid. Everyone else that got paid listened yesterday got paid on that the MLB show that him and I were on. He was giving some free Lions money line winners. A little bias attached to that, but hey, he got paid. How'd your night go? Welcome in. Happy Friday. How we doing, man?
Yeah, happy Friday. Good to be back. I feel like I haven't done a show in forever. It's probably been a week, but I mean, last night was awesome. You had NFL back. I listened to the Showdown show with Title, Hoop, and Tambo, and Title got me on got third place in the showdown. Thanks to Title getting off Gibbs to Montgomery, so appreciate that. And then I had a couple shippers over on DraftKings, where I don't play too much in the MLB streets. With those Tigers, with Torkelson, with G. Risen's boy, and the Braves, and it was a good night. And I think you and I talked pre-show. I think we got the winners tonight. Either you're going to win or I'm going to win, because we're completely opposite. So we'll see, and hopefully one of us ships again tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for you. It's Friday. It's Nade's Friday here. It's Dodgers Friday. Nade's is going to ship all the money tonight, and then we're going to run it back on Sunday and ship all the contests there for NFL. But now one of us is going to win. Hopefully, your members win as well. Because guess what, Hamwich, being in the tout life, I like seeing the members win more than myself sometimes, right? So we always try and get our stuff up early for you guys. We got all the tools, content over here. And speaking of SHIPITNation.com, 3-2-1 blast off. We're going to the moon. There's 2 days left to get in. Actually, a day, I should say. Tomorrow night at midnight, I believe that price does go away as we head into Sunday morning, the first Sunday of the NFL season. I'm so ready for Red Zone to be back, but SHIPITNation.com, $321 does get you access to all of our premium content, including the entire NFL season and the Super Bowl showdown, because that will end the 6-month mark there. Even current members can still upgrade for that price. It will prorate your membership, bring it down to about $53 a month if you get in now. It includes NFL, NBA, NHL, which I'll be heading up, MMA, PGA, everything else. We got some people talking college football in the Discord. We got some sports betting stuff going on in the Discord, everything. You get access to all of that for $321. But this is an NBA show. I'm all over the board today on Friday, man. So many things going on at once right now. You got NFL, you got MLB, obviously, you got everything else. MMA, big MMA card going on. So I'm all over the map. It's not an NBA breakdown. It's an MLB breakdown. Sorry about that.
Hey, real quick, Nates.
Go ahead.
I want to throw this up there. My boy Okie out there rocking that Ship It Nation gear. We certainly appreciate it. Nades is rocking that Ship It Nation gear as well. Those are some nice shirts. Got the hats as well. I came from work, so I don't have mine on. So sorry to the bosses for not repping the brand, but those shirts are smooth. We sure do appreciate you, Okie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, excellent shout out. And I see our guy, We the People in there. Nades is high. I'm high in life. I'll tell you that right now, because it's a beautiful time to be a part of Ship It Nation right now. Beautiful time. Obviously, NFL is the biggest time of the year. But like I said, NBA, which is on top of my mind because we crush NBA over here. So I appreciate that. Welcome in, everyone. We see Andrew Martinez in here. Richie Smalls, Go Collect, Oki. We appreciate you getting some gear there. We will have more gear as well. If you go to shipitnation.com, there's a tab that says shop. We got some hats. We got 2-color shirts. Nothing crazy, but we wanted to give. We got some requests for merch, things like that. So we did put some up there. And I believe Hoop and Tambo said the second order will be coming pretty soon here. So if you guys are interested in that, head over to the shop tab on shipitnation.com. But Hamwich, we got 11 games on tap. We got a lot to talk about here. We're going to go pitchers first, like we always do here. Let's go 8K and above. Quite a bit of pitchers here. I'll just throw a couple names out looking at some of the ownership here. Number 1, Kikuchi, the chalk of the slate there, probably going to be 35 to 40% owned, gets that Kansas City. Pretty cold in Toronto, wind blowing in there. Roof's going to be open as well. So pretty good pitching conditions. Logan Allen going to get probably 20 to 25% ownership as well there. Gets that matchup against the Angels with Trout obviously not there. I believe Ohtani's still sidelined or still on the bench as well. And then Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison probably going to be right there with Kikuchi. Those two are clearing away the 2 highest owned pitchers on the slate. But, man, Kyle Harrison gets these Rockies outside of Coors Field. He's been great. He's got the best strikeout rate of all the pitchers on the slate, obviously in his limited sample there, and gets to face the highest strikeout team in the league. So definitely hit on him. And then the other guy up here is Jordan Montgomery. So hit on 5 guys in particular if you have interest: Senga, Montgomery, Harrison, Logan Allen, Kikuchi, and then any of the lower owned options that are squeezed in there. You got Kyle Bradish, Blake Snell, Yuri Perez, Hunter Brown, tons of guys in here. Where are you going?
Yeah, no, thanks for the setup, Nades. But this is pretty clear and easy to me. And I'll 8K and above. I'll list the 3 pitchers that I have the most interest in. First is going to be Senga for the Mets. You know, taking on this Twins team, and Senga's been just nothing short of sensational all season long. He's striking out over 30% of the batters he's faced, left and right-handed side over the last 30 days. Couple in the fact that he gets to take on this Minnesota Twins team that at home versus right-handed pitching is striking out at almost a 27% clip. So Senga to me is number 1. I think you got to jam him in there, 10K on DK. But I really like Senga. Coming in for the second for me is all the way down there. You said it, Kikuchi at 8,200. He is going to be popular, but once again, his strikeout rate is up there to both sides of the plate. It looks like the Royals' projected lineup is going to have 9 righties in it, and he's striking out 27% of righties over the last 30 days. And then these going back, looking at their K percentage, the Royals on the road versus left-handed pitching, 27%. So Senga would be number 2 for me in that range. And then the last one that I want to talk about is Yuri Perez. I really like Yuri Perez, his upside. I mean, MLB DFS is all about strikeouts. He actually has the second highest K prop on the slate today. I mean, obviously going into Citizens Bank there in Philly, you know, facing Schwarber, facing Harper, facing Trey Turner, Nick Castellanos is a little scary. So Yuri Perez would be your pivot in GPPs. But Senga and Kikuchi, for me, for my money, with their pitch counts, you know, both can get into the hundreds. Those would be my top 2, and then Yuri Perez would be my third.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown. I differ a little bit. Does sound like we're locked arm in arm. Senga's my number 1 pitcher on the slate at his price point, just 10K. I mean, gets this great matchup against Minnesota. I think he can strike out a ton of these guys. Has tons of strikeouts. If he can limit the walks like he always does, right? That's a struggle. If he limits those walks, gets his command under control. I mean, he's got the highest ceiling by far, in my opinion, on this slate. So I'd love Senga. Senga's number 1 for me. Number 2 is I'm gonna eat the chalk there, and Kyle Harrison. I definitely prefer Kyle Harrison over the Kikuchi chalk. I just much rather would attack these Rockies right now, who have been much worse all season long, especially as of late too, than these Royals. The Royals have hit the ball a little around. Obviously, the Royals, I like them a lot better at home, but hey, so maybe they carry that over into Toronto here. And I really never love a chalky Kikuchi. I really play Kikuchi. He kind of falls in the Blake Snell category as me and those the other Padres pitchers. When they're chalk, I typically fade them, but when they're lower owned, I will hop on them, especially for their strikeout upside. So I'm going to be off Kikuchi here. I'm going to eat the chalk in Kyle Harrison. He's my SP2 on the slate. I think Griffin Canning is fine. I just don't love it picking on Cleveland here. I think it's too big of a slate, so I'm pretty much out on him. I do have interest in Yuri Perez here. The only issue is there is pretty good weather there in Philly for hitting. It's one of the best hitting environments on the slate, so that does scare me a little bit. But he's got a ton of strikeouts, strikeout upside there. Gets a lot of swing and misses there, so I do think he is fine. But I actually like Jordan Montgomery quite a bit here. Gets Oakland. Obviously a great matchup. I think Texas puts a beating on Oakland here tonight as well, so he should have some run support behind him. So this top, it's Kyle Harrison, Senga, and Montgomery for me. Really not a ton of interest in anyone else. Not going to Kyle Bradish. I am a Bradish believer, but pretty good weather there in Boston to hit there. Fenway, don't really want to roster him in Fenway Park there. And then none of these other guys I'm really interested in. Logan Allen, I think, is fine, but he doesn't rank the greatest on our metrics over here. Doesn't have a ton of strikeout upside. I mean, he's got the 18th best strikeout matchup of all these pitchers on the slate. I mean, you got guys like we already talked about. I mean, Paul Blackburn, Sanchez, those guys have a higher strikeout rate than him on the season. So really 3 guys up here for me. It's Senga number 1, Kyle Harrison number 2, and then my lower owned guy is Jordan Montgomery up here. Let's go down to the sub 8K range on the slate.
Real quick, Nates. Let me just play devil's advocate for the people as it relates to Kyle Harrison. I mean, it's 2 starts ago he was 6,500. Had the amazing start against the Reds, who were scuffling at the plate. Then they bumped him up to 8,500. And only got 6 points his last time out. And then now he's all the way up to 9K. I mean, certainly understand the matchup facing this Rockies team that's putrid, but he hasn't gone above 91 pitches in the last 2 starts, or really any this season. He's only pitched 3 games. So to me, in order for him to pay off his tag, he's going to have to throw 90 plus pitches and get 6 or 7 strikeouts. Certainly doable. But for me in this situation, that's why I'm not on Kyle Harrison. Same thing with Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery hasn't gone above 92 or 92 pitches in his last 4 starts. So I'm out on Montgomery. Not really a strikeout pitcher, but do understand they're facing 2 terrible offenses in the Rockies and the A's. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's kind of the ballpark too, right? Like I like pitchers in a pitcher's park down in San Francisco there at the late night hammer. I mean, the Rockies are implied to score 3 runs, strikeout rate of 30% against lefties on the road this season. I mean, you got 3 guys under 20% in this lineup in strikeouts. Everyone else is over 30% on the season here. And that's pretty substantial sample size there. So I think he posts another Cincinnati score here, to be honest with you. And I think 9K is perfectly fair when you consider the park, the weather, the matchup, everything considered. I think he can be efficient enough, but I do get the point. I mean, he's going to be one of the chalkiest pitchers on the slate. So definitely it is good to play both sides. I'm just preferably siding with him over Kikuchi there, but I get the point. So I definitely appreciate that. Let's jump into this lower range. Really, I'm not seeing anyone really down here getting ownership. I mean, the only guy would be Luis Severino against Milwaukee. But man, I've stacked against Severino all season long. But he is just $5,500 against Milwaukee offense that you're not really scared of too much. Christopher Sanchez ranks pretty solid on our pitching rankings over here. So bring up him if you have any interest in there. And then Paul Blackburn ranks pretty good in our metrics. Personally, I can't do it. I'm not pitching a righty here against Texas. I just can't do it. So I'm out on him. Really, it's a spend up night for me at pitcher. I'm not dabbling with any of these guys down here. I mean, I guess you could bring up Tanner Houck a little bit. I know we talked about him briefly before the show, because Baltimore does seem to be the highest owned projected stack right now of the night. So anyone down here that you have interest in?
Yeah, and you're not going to like this. You're not going to like it one bit, but my favorite pitcher down here, 7,200, Mackenzie Gore, taking on these Los Angeles Dodgers, and I'll give you the reason why I like them. Anytime, in my opinion, anytime you take someone's best player, the glue of your team, and take him out of the lineup, and he's a superstar, Mookie Betts, it just jumbles everything up. And they played last night on the road, and I don't, it's a personal preference. I hate playing players and teams, that played the night before. Now they're still traveling on the road. Mackenzie Gore, I like his strikeout upside. He hasn't really struck out that many over the last 30 days, but without Mookie, with them playing last night, traveling, I said it a couple weeks ago and it came back to bite me. I forget the team. They were in Texas. But anyway, I like Mackenzie Gore at 7,200. I think he can get, 8Ks. And I really like the fact that he threw over 100 pitches his last time out. So to me, he's the best pitcher, 8K below. And I'll be having him on DraftKings, where it's obviously a 2-pitcher site, trying to save salary and get a little bit different double leverage on, those Dodger stacks.
Well, I can't do it, but hey, one of us is going to win here tonight. I do love the Dodgers here, but I get the reason, right? Yeah, he does have a 26% strikeout rate on the season. It's just that's dropped over the last 30 days. And I actually don't mind that Mookie. I get the whole reason, right? Your best player is out of the lineup, but what that does is it makes the lineup more affordable and takes some of the pinch hit concerns away from the Dodgers too, right? When guys like Ahmed Rosario is going to be there, Miguel Rojas, Chris Taylor, they're going to need those guys. Chris Taylor's smashing at the plate right now, and now gets a lefty here, going to probably bat leadoff in Mookie's spot here. So I get the reasoning for it. I personally can't do it. Really, if I go to anyone down here, it would probably just be taking a stab at Christopher Sanchez, but really, I'm going to spend up. I like those guys up at the top that we broke down already. So tonight's a spend up night for me at pitcher. There's cheap bats. You can double spend and still 5-man stack the Dodgers pretty easily here and fill in some cheap bats around it. So spend up night for me at pitcher. Go ahead and let's give the people your top 3 pitchers on the slate, and then we'll go game by game.
Hey, sorry, one thing. Neither one of us mentioned Blake Snell, highest price pitcher on the slate, going to be virtually unknown taking on this Astros team that's just been knocking the cover off the ball. What's your take on Snell? I'm assuming you didn't talk about him, so you don't have much interest. But what about in GPPs? Is he a terrible play?
I just don't like attacking hot teams in baseball. Right, baseball is a game of streaks. Hot teams. Astros are at home right now. They're ripping the cover off the ball. Blake Snell, I get it, right? He could go in there, but these Astros against lefties at home strike out under 20%. So. And they're crushing the baseball right now. So I'm out on Blake Snell, especially at the highest price pitcher on the slate. I would much rather just go down to Senga because it's not like Senga is going to be some mega chalk on the slate. And you save $800 there. So that's kind of the reasoning I'm out on him. I just rather pick on worse offenses, especially right now.
Understood. And yeah, I wanted to get your take. I'm similar. I'm not going to play any Blake Snell, but I'm really only playing 4 pitchers tonight across both sites. Number 1 for me, far and away, Senga for the Mets. Number 2, Kikuchi. Number 3 would be Yuri Perez. I really love his strikeout upside. And then I would the 4th is I'm going to play Mackenzie Gore on a team. I like Mackenzie Gore as a 4th if I'm trying to get in some higher price teams. But Senga and Kikuchi for me, far and away, 1 and 2 with Perez and Gore a distant 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, no, great breakdown. I'm going Senga number 1 for me, Kyle Harrison number 2. Love that pairing. I love pairing those together. That's going to be my main team tonight on DraftKings. I'll give you a little foreshadow there. So I love that pairing. Brought up Jordan Montgomery. I like Jordan Montgomery against Oakland here a little bit. And then if I had to grab a 4th, I'll go Yuri Perez as well. I think his strikeout upside is there, and his ownership is not there. So I do like that a little bit. I actually don't mind either pitcher in that game a little bit. I think it's either going to be a pitcher's duel or we're going to see a lot of home runs personally. I don't think there's anything in between. So you can definitely take a stab at either pitcher in that one, Yuri Perez or Sanchez. Definitely prefer Perez, though. That's going to do it for the pitchers. Let's go game by game. Before we do, if you guys are new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. We have NFL shows every single day of the week this year. G Ryzen is doing a bunch of quick hits that are pre-recorded that you can go back and watch. We have me and Tambo will be on Monday breaking down the review show. We just got a ton of different shows. I'll pop the schedule up here quick. Obviously, this is a baseball show, but everyone here probably enjoys NFL as well. So yeah, as you can see there, we got shows each and every day. If you hit that subscribe button right here, everything's going to be right here on this channel, and you will get notified when we do go live.
You got to talk up our Sunday Night Football show, Dave. Tell the people about our Sunday Night Football show that you and I are going to be doing together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My guy, Hamwich, and myself will be doing the Sunday night showdown breakdown. It is going to not be a live show. It is going to be a pre-recorded show, but that will get posted right here as well. Typically, we're going to try and get that out Sunday or Saturday night for you. So you have all day Sunday. You can watch it Sunday afternoon when you're watching the primetime games go on there, the afternoon window, hopefully watching yourself go up to the top of the leaderboards and get ready for Sunday night football there. So yeah. appreciate you bringing that up. I totally forgot, but there's so many different things going on right now. It's a great time of the year. So
NBA season, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this NBA show. But no, let's go ahead and talk about game by game. First game, we do have a little bit of weather concern here. It's Milwaukee at New York. Kevin Roth has it tagged as orange yellow, so definitely monitor weather as we get closer to lock. He posts free updates on his Twitter there at Kevin Roth. He said it's right now tagged orange yellow, so there is a little bit of concern. Personally, I didn't have any interest in either one of these pitchers. I do think Severino does get some more ownership due to I think he's the de facto cheap guy that everyone's going to. With the concern with weather, I just have no reason to go to him at all. Brewers do have a 4.5 implied run total. See Yankees sitting right there as well. So Vegas does expect some runs in this game. Two bad pitchers, in my opinion, on the mound here in Colin Ray, Luis Severino. Obviously, you got Aaron Judge. You got Jason Dominguez finally up to 4,100. I still think that's way too cheap for him. Love him there. Gleyber Torres, obviously. We got our guy Jake Bauers back in the lineup tonight here. Any interest in this game? I do think there's some one-offs you can pick, preferably on the Yankee side for me personally. But where are you going here?
Yeah, so we're definitely different here. And Andrew Martinez had asked about playing Severino. I just can't do it. This Brewers team is super pesky, especially on the road against right-handed pitching, striking out sub 20%. And I have interest in the mini stack of the Brewers. I really, really like Willy Adames tonight, batting fifth. He profiles extremely well against Severino. He's obviously a right-handed hitter. There's wind blowing out left center field, so if he gets one up in the air, it's going to go over the wall. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. He's going to be one of my home run calls of the day. So Willy Adames, I really like. And then Christian Yelich, you can always play. He's got power. He's got speed. He bats at the top of the lineup. People that follow me know I love power and speed, especially batting leadoff. So. Really like Willy Adames as a one-off. I think you can play him in cash even. I'm generally not a cash player, but you can play him in cash, in my opinion. And then you can also play him in GPPs because he will be unowned. But I do think he takes Luis Severino yard tonight. And I can't play these Yankees. It's 11-game slate. We talk about it. Can't play everybody. I mean, yeah, you can play Judge always, but I'm not stacking these guys, even against Colin Ray, who I have no faith in. But Yankees, man, they're just Jekyll and Hyde. So Willy Adames, and that's it for me.
Yeah, I differ a little bit. I actually like these lefties a little bit here for the Yankees. Jason Dominguez, obviously he's a switch hitter there, but probably going to hit from the left side of the plate against Colin Ray here. And Jake Bauers, looking at the current and last season numbers here for Colin Ray, sub 20% strikeout rate to left side of the plate, ISO numbers of north of 250, and fly ball rate over 30%. So I do think the lefties make some sense there. Jason Dominguez is definitely my favorite bat. I think he's an excellent one-off here. Kid's just got a ton of power, ton of talent. One of the best prospects in baseball we've seen in quite some time. So have some interest in there. And then if you do need a punt catcher, I think Austin Wells is fine. Another prospect there for the Yankees. Hasn't had the best start to his major league career here, but I do think he's fine. Another lefty there against Colin Ray. On the Brewers side, really no interest, to be honest. I just like other teams better. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Next game on the slate here, we have the Marlins heading into Philly. Christopher Sanchez, Yuri Perez on the mound. I think both pitchers make some sense here. This is another game where we could see some weather there. Kevin Roth has it tagged as yellow. Says some storms could pop up. He thinks the game will finish either way. So bats probably pretty safe here. Little concern on some of the pitchers, but got my guy, Jake Berger, Josh Bell, De La Cruz. I love those three for sure against Mr. Sanchez there because looking at the weather, it is one of the best hitting environments on the slate. Obviously hot and humid. That's likely why the storms are popping up, 90-plus degrees, wind blowing out to center field. I like that three-man mini stack there for the Marlins. Going to be unowned against Mr. Sanchez and Jake Berger. We get him batting probably third. He's batting third tonight against the lefty. So sign me up for some of these Marlins. On the Phillies side, I think you can play some of these guys, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Schwarber up there at the top of the lineup, but really not a ton of interest on the Phillies side. I like the Marlins here.
Yep, no, agree with you, Nades. I have a ton of interest in these Marlins as a full 4-man or 5-man stack, depending on the site. You nailed the three that we have the most confidence in. That's 2, 3, and 4 for the Marlins. I like Jazz Chisholm batting down there in the 7-hole. Going to be unknown, but that guy can hit it out of any park. and lefty. And so once Bell, Berger, and De La Cruz take Sanchez yard and they get in a reliever, they bring in a righty. Now Chisholm has the advantage. So I don't mind these Marlins. I really like the Marlins tonight. And then I have a ton of interest in Yuri Perez. But with that being said, I don't hate a Philly stack. If you're having 5 teams, make one of them a Philly stack and one of them a Perez stack. I think both or one could go off. And so, Perez may can get 10 Ks. But I mean, it's tough to fade Schwarber, Turner, like I said earlier, those guys. Perez does give up a ton of power, and wind is blowing out the left center field. So I think you can make a case for either one, but really like the Fish more than the Phillies tonight.
Yeah, we're in lockstep in this one. Like I said, Josh Bell, Jake Berger, De La Cruz. I love that mini stack there in a 5-3 lineup. Jake Berger is one of my favorite plays of the slate. I already saw some people talking about Jake Berger dong night there, Butthole, or got Butthole in the chat. Good to see you in here, Butthole. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'm right there with you. I love Jake Berger here tonight. Good hitting conditions against the lefty that gets hit hard from the right side of the plate for a ton of power. Sign me up there. So love him. Next game on the slate, my favorite offense, your not favorite offense. It's the Dodgers. It's the Hamwich versus Nades duo here. We got Sheehan on the mound and Mackenzie Gore. It's going to be the unowned Dodgers on a Friday night here. Sign me up for some of these Dodgers. We got my guy, Chris freaking Taylor, 3,300 bat leadoff. I'm loading up on these Dodgers tonight. I already said some of the pinch hit concerns there is mitigated with Mookie Betts out of the lineup. Makes this lineup a lot more affordable to stack up. And I love it here. So I'm on the Dodgers. Dodgers, my favorite stack of the evening, especially with their ownership. So I love them. On the National side, I think you could play some of these Nationals. I mean, Sheehan's not a good pitcher by any means. Sub 20% strikeout rate, gets barrel rate at a double-digit percentage here. You got my guy C.J. Abrams always there. Travis Blankenhorn, I think, is a nice value play there. He's been good against right-handed pitching. He's just 3,100 hitting in the 5 spot here tonight. So I actually like this game a little bit here for offense. Looking at the weather here in Washington, one of the best hitting conditions on the slate too. 90 degrees, wind blowing out, or kind of straight across the field, but maybe a little bit out to left field. So I love this game. I'm on both sides here. Definitely prefer the Dodgers though. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm going Mackenzie Gore tonight. I think he gets 20 plus DK points. I think he shuts him down. Chris Taylor. I think Chris Taylor is going to be chalk. I think he's going to be higher owned, especially batting leadoff. They have a nice implied run total, but he is striking out 35% on the season against left-handed pitching. And McKenzie may strike him out 3 times, and then Skip will say, "Hey, we're getting a pitch in for you, kid. Go take a shower." So no interest in the Dodgers for me. And then I was thinking about Sheehan, my boy Ed Sheeran tonight. I kind of like him, but then this Nats team striking out 17% at home versus righties. They're just pesky. And Sheehan's not going to go above 75 pitches, so I'm out on him. But C.J. Abrams will be the only one that I would have interest in. Batting leadoff, home runs, speed. He's got it all. So give me McKenzie. Give me C.J. to give him some run support. Give me that Nationals money line tonight. And these Dodgers are going to get shut out.
All right. Well, it's the battle of Ham versus Nades here. I'm going to scramble your eggs there and give you a little ham sandwich here because these Dodgers are printed tonight. Chris Taylor's making it 3 nights in a row with a bomb. I'm calling it right now. Love me some Will Smith against the lefty. My guy Freddie Freeman at his price point batting second in the 2-hole, I should say. It's the night of the 2-hole. It's a Friday night here, Hamwich. Lefty, he's going to be unowned at 6K plus there, and he smashes lefties on the season on the road this year. Love him. Love JD Martinez. And my low-owned guy here is Miguel Rojas down there. Cheap guy in the shortstop position. He's been very good over the last month. He's got his hitting for a 280 ISO. He's hit 9th, going to be unowned, and he's just $2,900. So I love the wraparound, reach around. Little hoop special here for these Dodgers. Give me the 9-1-2-3-4 stack for these Dodgers. Love that. On the National side, I already talked about the guys I like. Blankenhorn probably was my favorite one-off, just at his price point. And then always my guy C.J. Abrams. The good dude has 3 stolen base upside every single night and can hit for some power. So I love this game. Definitely the Dodgers, my favorite stack of the night. Next game, we head into Toronto. Blue Jays have the highest implied run total on the slate, I believe, but it is one of the worst hitting conditions, in my opinion, on the slate. I mean, it's going to be low 60s by the end of game time. 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing in straight from center field. That's probably why you have some more interest in Kikuchi. I do think the more people do that and look at that, especially when they factor in Toronto's implied run total, they're basically factoring in the win points as well for Kikuchi. I think his ownership even climbs even more. I hate a chalky Kikuchi, but I get the reasoning. These Royals do strike out at a 28% clip against left-handed pitching on the road this season. I personally off both sides of this game in terms of bats, outside of one guy, Cavan Biggio at second base. Weak position, 2,700. He's been good. He's been good on the year, especially at home. It's going to be more of a bullpen game here against the Royals, but primarily will probably see righties out of the pen here. So I think he's a great play there. And yeah, I like him, but really off of this game. I'm fading the Blue Jays here tonight.
I'm seeing Alec Marsh as the projected long reliever. Where do we rank the Jays in far of ownership percentage? Like where are they going to be? Are they top 5?
No, I don't think that anyone's going to them really for ownership. They do have a high implied run total, but I think everyone's looking at what I'm looking at, right? The weather. I'm a big ballpark guy. I'm a big weather guy in baseball, especially this time of the year. And it's going to be sub 60 degrees. I mean, it's going to be like 62, 64 degrees by the end of game time and throughout the middle of that game with 9 to 10 mile an hour winds blowing straight in. So I think a lot of people see that. So I guess if you have a hunch on the Blue Jays, they could still get the job done. Preferably, I'm just gonna fade it here on an 11-game slate. I think there's better hitting conditions on this slate. But if you like the Blue Jays, they're definitely going to be unowned.
Yeah, no, I do. I have a ton of interest in the Blue Jays. They're going to be my number one stack on the day. George Springer, Vlad Guerrero, Spencer Horwitz, Dalton Varsho down there in the 7-hole. Really love them to give Kikuchi all the run support he needs. I mean, I think Kikuchi goes down and mows these Royals down. The Royals are striking out. I don't want to give you any misinformation. 28% on the season on the road versus left-handed pitching. So sign me up for Kikuchi. Sign me up for these Blue Jays. I really like them tonight. I guess Horwitz is not in the lineup, but you have David Schneider striking out 7% versus a righty at home. So love these Blue Jays. They'll be my highest owned stack of the day.
Perfect. You're on the Blue Jays. I'm off this game outside of Cavan Biggio. So we differ again. It's one of us is going to have a nice breakfast come Saturday night when we break down that showdown slate. Can take a little victory lap on each other, but one of us is either going to win all the money and the other one's not gonna sniff the cash line. But that's all right. That's it's good to have a little disagreement. We don't want to come on here and say the same things every single because that doesn't do anyone any good. Next game on the slate, we have Baltimore. Projected to be the highest owned stack, I should say, but they're guaranteed ninth inning at bats. Good offense here against Tanner Houck in Fenway, guaranteed ninth inning. Got Kyle Bradish on the other side. Highest game total by far on the slate here. Both implied to score over 5 runs. You got Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn, Santander. I mean, these Orioles going to be super chalky, and they haven't been the best on the road this year against right-handed pitching, at least from the numbers I'm seeing. Team ISO of 155, which isn't great. Really, those 3 guys that I brought up are the best. So I prefer the Orioles more as a mini stack here when you factor in ownership, everything like that. You definitely brought up Tanner Houck a little bit when we were talking pre-show in terms of some leverage there. So it sounds like you're a little bit under on the Orioles here, but touch on any Red Sox that you have interest in.
Yeah, let me just touch on the Orioles real quick, and I would play Tanner Houck only if I was going to get if I contrarian versus the Orioles. I mean, this Orioles team profiles extremely well against Tanner Houck because Tanner gives up a ton of power to lefties, and all the power, I shouldn't say all the power, a majority of the power comes from the left-handed side of the plate. Santander, Gunnar, Rutschman, who else is in that lineup that's a lefty? O'Hearn. Yeah, O'Hearn.
Mullins.
So yeah,
Frazier.
Mullins. So there's tons of power from the left-handed side, and that's what gives them the most trouble. Me personally, I would go to the other side where I'm not hearing anything around the Red Sox, and their implied run total is almost identical to this Orioles team. Facing Bradish, who's been very good. He's a strikeout pitcher, 30% for both sides of the plate over the last 30 days. The only problem with that is this Red Sox team does not strike out. And Nades, we talk about it all the time. They are so much more talented at home. I mean, obviously got the short portion left with the monster. They're much better offense at home. They have the same implied run total. Ownership is going to be about a third of what we're seeing on this Orioles team. Give me this Red Sox as an almost contrarian team versus this Orioles. I think they score more runs, win this game against the Orioles tonight.
Yeah, I actually prefer the chalkier side a little bit. I mean, Bradish has just been so good over the last month. I mean, 30+% strikeout rate to both sides of the plate. I mean, opponents are not hitting for any power. I mean, ISO numbers of .046, which is horrible. Ground ball rate over 62%. So, I mean, extreme ground ball pitcher with a lot of strikeouts. The only issue is right, these guys just don't strike out outside of Trevor Story. So I get the points for the Red Sox. They're definitely going to be significantly lower owned. Vegas doesn't expect runs. So I get the game theory there. I just like other offenses better on the slate. I mean, you still are paying for these guys. If I went to anyone on these Red Sox, it would be obviously Devers, Adam Duvall, Tristan Cassis would be my favorite. And then just kind of fill in there. Connor Wong, I think, is a fine punt catcher option, but I definitely prefer the Orioles side. Give me all those lefties. And there are going to be 6 of them here in the lineup tonight against Tanner Houck, who gives up a 450 ISO to the left side of the plate. So give me these lefties for the Orioles. And it's just about how you play them. I think if you don't play Kikuchi, if you just don't play Kikuchi and Harrison with the Orioles, I think you're fine. Or grab one of them. Throw in a righty or two, right? Throw in a Mountcastle, throw in an Austin Hayes, throw in a Urias down there to get a little lower ownership there. But yeah, I definitely like these Orioles quite a bit. Gunnar Henderson, probably one of the top bats on the slate there, third base, shortstop eligible. I like that dual position eligible. You can put him at a weak third shortstop position, get that position out of the way, and then round your team out around that. So yeah, definitely on these Orioles tonight. And I'm actually off the Red Sox, so we do differ there a little bit as well. Next game on the slate, we have the Pirates heading into Truist Park to face Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder's strikeouts continues to drop off a cliff, 17% on the season, but now gets to face a Pirates team that does strike out a decent amount. Not a very good offense here. Mitch Keller on the mound, who's been up and down for the Pirates. He started out the season very, very good, scuffled a little bit as of late. And these Braves at home, probably going to be pretty low owned. At least that's what I'm seeing. I mean, ownership really doesn't matter on the slate. Offense ownership is spreading out because that's just the nature of the slate. Could make a case for these Braves. I'm a little bit under on the Braves tonight at their price points. I just like spending up at pitchers. So that's why I'm under on them. But the Braves do have some cheaper bats finally in this lineup. I mean, Ozuno's 4,800. Got Rosario sitting just at 4,100. Nicky Lopez is in there at 3,300. So the back half of this Braves lineup is more affordable than they have been. So I think they make some sense. They're still implied to score over 5.5 runs. Do you have any interest in this one?
Yeah, so kind of how I'm approaching this game is I do, Keller, like you said, it's been a roller coaster year for him, but that roller coaster is at a high right now. And I'm going to pick on pitchers that aren't performing well right now. And I think Mitch is performing well enough to avoid these Braves. Certainly wouldn't be the dumbest thing if you stacked, the Braves. They can beat up any pitcher. But for me personally, I'm off the Braves. I do like Matt Olson as a one-off. So no Braves stack for me. I don't think it's the worst thing, but I'm going to pick on other pitchers and not Mitch Keller. And then on the other side, you said it. I mean, this Elder guy, I mean, he pitched okay last time out against the Dodgers, but he can't strike anybody out. And I like Brian Reynolds batting in the 2-hole tonight. I think Brian Reynolds is going to be another guy that I have a ton of interest in taking him deep. 240 expected ISO, strikes out a little bit more than I like, but like I said, Elder can't strike anyone out. So give me Brian Reynolds as a one-off for these Pirates. So it'd be Olson and Reynolds as one-offs only for me tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll one-up you and give you a little mini stack for these Pirates. Give me the 2 lefties there, Jack Sawinski and Brian Reynolds. I mean, actually, all these lefties would be good. 11% strikeout rate to the left side of the plate. Lefties don't hit for a ton of power, but he does give up fly balls, 30+% fly ball rate to the left side of the plate. And I think these guys can get the ball in the air. Jack Sawinski's a 45% fly ball rate guy. Palacios, another lefty in there, 41% fly ball hitter. Endy Rodriguez, 35% fly ball hitter. Brian Reynolds, 30+%. So give me these fly ball lefties for these Pirates. I think they make a nice contrarian mini stack here. And I'm going to be off the Braves tonight. It's a shocker, I know, but at their price points, I just prefer the Dodgers. Travis d'Arnaud, I will bring him up again. I called his home run yesterday. He's still 4,300. I love him as a one-off at the catcher position. Usually when he gets in that lineup, he tends to show out because he doesn't get an everyday start anymore with Sean Murphy in town. So him hitting 6th right behind Rosario there. He's got a 310 expected ISO against righties. But yeah, definitely like some of these Pirates lefties a little bit. Jack Sawinski, far and away my favorite Pirate here tonight. Next game on the slate, we have the Athletics heading into Texas. We got Texas at home against the righty. Paul Blackburn has been good, but this Texas offense, man, they're scary, especially against a right-handed pitcher that has blow-up capability. So I like these Rangers here. Rangers probably my second favorite stack overall on the night. At home here, 5.6 implied run total. Paul Blackburn, like I said, has been pretty decent, but you got Corey Seager in here. You got Mitch Garver, Jonah Heim. I mean, my guy Zeke Duran. Got some cheap bats there in the bottom. You got Evan Carter making his debut here, 2K flat, a little lefty there against Paul Blackburn. So sign me up for these Rangers, my second favorite stack of the night. Are you with me?
Not with you, Nades, and we talk about it all the time. It's like you have to pay big boy prices for these Rangers in order to get them, and you really only want the top 5. Take that down to the top 4 because Adolis Garcia is on the disabled list. Seager's at what, 6'3" tonight? I mean, that's just a premium to pay 6'4" tonight. And they haven't been very good. Simeon, I think, hit 3 bombs the other night, 2 or 3 bombs. So, he had a good night, but as a whole, it's really only been the Simeon and Seager show. I mean, Nathaniel Lowe's done nothing. Garver's hit a couple bombs, but I'm out on these Rangers. I just don't think they can put enough hits together to beat up Paul Blackburn. So I'm out on these Rangers. And then no Athletics for me either. I see Zach Geloff's batting leadoff, which I love that, getting him up there higher in the order. But no Athletics, no Rangers. This game is going to be a complete cross-off for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like the top 6 here for Texas: Tavares, Jonah Heim, Garver, Lowe, Seager, Semien. You do have to pay for them, but if you do go cheaper at pitcher, I think I would prefer to spend up for these Rangers over the Braves personally. Obviously, my guy Zeke Duran, I always like him. And then if you need some salary, throw the 2K guy in there. Doesn't hurt you too bad, really. I mean, even if he gets you a 0, he's 2K flat mid salary. It's what it does for the rest of your lineup. Gives you some. Gives you room to spend up at another pitcher. But yeah, Athletics a fade for me. I do like these Rangers tonight. Next game, we have Kodai Senga on the mound. So the Twins are a complete cross-off for me. Personally, I do like Senga. Senga's one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. But these Mets get Dallas Keuchel, the corpse in Dallas Keuchel there. I think the Mets make some sense here. I do think they pick up some ownership, but Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, smash lefties. I like both of those guys. And Tim LaCastro has actually hit lefties very, very good, and he's 2K flat as a punt outfielder there. Obviously, it's a very limited sample size on the season, but 2K flat. He's got 375 ISO in his 7 at-bats against left-handed pitching, and now gets a very, very bad one here. So I think these Mets make some sense. Do you see anything I'm missing here?
Yeah, Senga's my number 1 as well. So definitely won't be having any Twins. And then the only Met that I would play would be Pete Alonso. I mean, Dallas Keuchel is not any good, but he's a ground ball pitcher. Weather not the best hitting weather. So it'd be Senga for me, and then only Pete Alonso as a one-off for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like Pete Alonso, Lindor, and LaCastro if you need a punt guy. But yeah, no Twins for me. Not going to stack these Mets up either. Just pretty much one-off hunting in this one. So kind of in lockstep there. Next game, we have the Padres heading into Houston, the hottest team in baseball right now. Blake Snell, Hunter Brown, 2 decent real-life pitchers on the mound here. Padres implied to score 4 runs. Astros implied to score 4.5. Do you have any interest in this one with these red-hot Astros here?
I don't. I don't have interest in either one of these teams. I mean, these pitchers are good enough pitchers that I don't want to pick on. Like I said earlier, I want to pick on pitchers that aren't any good, i.e. the pitchers for the Royals, i.e. Bryce Elder, i.e. Luis Severino. So game's going to be a complete cross-off for me. No pitchers, no batters. And hopefully it's a 3-2 ball game with a couple, bunch of singles. Yeah,
we're in lockstep there. No bats for me as well in that one. I crossed that one off. Next game, Cleveland, one of the late games here. Cleveland heading into Angels to face Griffin Canning, Logan Allen on the mound. 2 pitchers I think are fine to play here tonight. Obviously, you got this Angels without Trout, without Ohtani. Pretty brutal lineup overall, but you do have a lot of cheap bats here. Personally, I'm off the bats in this game. Really never going to play these Guardians, especially on a full slate. Not going to play this Angels lineup, so I'm out on bats in this one. Are you in lockstep?
Yes, sir. Lockstep again, 2 for 2. Don't need either one of these teams, in my opinion, to get to the top tonight. Let's move on to the next one.
Absolutely. I do have a little interest in one of the sides of this game, in the Giants in particular. Rockies complete cross-off spot against Kyle Harrison for me. You brought up the devil's advocate there for Kyle Harrison. Personally, I can't do it here. I'm not going to go to a team that strikes out at 30+% rate against left-handed pitching on the season outside of Coors Field. So I can't do it. Rockies are off the slate for me. But the Giants, you got Austin Slater, probably only going to get 2 at-bats, likely once Ty Block does exit that game. But he is 2,800. Pretty good chance that he could hit a home run in one of those 2 at-bats against a lefty. Typically hits lefties very well. A couple other guys, J.D. Davis in there, Wilmer Flores. You got Casey Schmidt, Paul DeJong, who have decent numbers against the lefty. These Giants are super cheap, implied to score over 5 runs. I think they make sense as a mini stack, preferably. I just hate five-man stack in the Giants in this ballpark with this weather and the pinch hit concerns. But I do like some of these guys as a mini stack or one-offs. Do you see anything in this game?
No, definitely no Rockies for me. No interest in Harrison or the Rockies. And I'll let you play these Giants team just when you think you got something going. The idiot manager pinch hits them and they take them out. And so I can't do it. I mean, Ty Block's no good, but bad weather ballpark, pitcher ballpark, game's a complete cross-off. It's another 3-2 game, hopefully. And by the time I go to bed, I'll be in bed well before this one ends. But hopefully I'm in the lead going into this game, and I'll wake up in the morning and still in the lead.
Yeah, first of all, I got to shout out our guy, Optimal Prime. We appreciate you tuning in here. Congratulations on that ship for 5K there. That's awesome to see. I'm glad our content's helping over here. And that's what we do. We put all of our shows. We have no premium shows. All of our shows are free right here. So even if you can't sign up and use the premium content, we still break it down just like we do for our subscribers over here. So we definitely appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It does help us continue to bring these shows for free. And my guy Sean V is always a hater of me in the chat, but that's all right, Sean. We appreciate it. Appreciate you giving the comments here and tuning in. Even not everyone agrees, right? So that's the best part about DFS. If everyone agreed, everyone would hold hands at the top of the leaderboard or the bottom of the leaderboard, whatever you please. So that's all right, Sean. I will take a mini stack here, these Giants, to round up my teams. But if you're not with me, that's all right. We do open up the floor to making your own roster constructions, I should say. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I like some of these Giants mini stack only. I already brought up the reason that I don't like 5-man stacking these guys. That's all games on the slate. Let's go ahead and give the people the top 3 stacks, and then we'll give the pitcher and the home run call and get on out of here. Give people some time to build their lineups and go enjoy their Friday night. Where are you going? How much? Top 3 stacks.
Yeah, top 3. Number 1 is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays facing this Kansas City team and their bullpen. Number 2 for me after that, as it goes for total stack, I'm going to say Boston. I like Boston. I like their implied run totals over 5. I love it that they're not getting any ownership, so I would take Boston. And then number 3 for me is going to be Miami. Miami would be my 3rd stack that I like. And then I'm going to give everybody a low-owned stack. And you kind of alluded to it a minute ago. Low-owned stack for me is going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on Bryce Elder, 27 outs. I really like the Pirates tonight as a low-owned stack.
Fair enough. Yeah, great breakdown. My number 1 stack, talked about it quite a bit. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers there. I love the Dodgers. I like the Rangers. And then I'll go that Miami 3-man stack that I brought up. Jake Berger, De La Cruz, Josh Bell. Obviously, you can include anyone else in there. I like them more as a mini stack, as my low-owned stack. The Mariners in a pretty good game environment, pretty good hitting conditions there. So that's where I'm going. Go ahead and jump into your lowish owned pitcher that you expect to post. I kind of have an idea where you're going, and it's going to be devil's advocate of my favorite stack of the night. So go ahead and give the people the winner.
Yes, sir. For all 175 people watching, make sure you get Mackenzie Gore in your lineups tonight. Mackenzie Gore about to set it off. Get me 20-plus DraftKings points. Going to shut out these Los Angeles Dodgers. I shouldn't say shut out, but he's going to get 20-plus DraftKings points. Going to limit the damage, I should say. Mackenzie Gore, my low-owned pitcher of the day, going to get him at sub 5% in any tournament you play on DraftKings.
Well, it looks like you and King and Smack, you, Sean, King of Smack, are either going to hold hands at the top of the leaderboard, or you're going to see my logo up at the top, because it sounds like all three of you guys are in lockstep, and I'm on the other side. But my pitcher call here, he's not going to be super low owned, but I'm going all the way up to the top of the board, not the very top. I'm not going Blake Snell. I'm going Kodai Senga there against Minnesota. I think he has a ton of upside here. I'm seeing sub 20% ownership on him right now. I think he can absolutely dust the slate in terms of pitcher scores. I think he personally has the highest ceiling of anyone on the slate, so I love him in this matchup. Go ahead and give the people your home run call.
I'm going to give him a 2-pack, and I was just looking at my DraftKings team, and I know I put one of them in there, but it's going to be a 2-pack tonight. Willy Adames, I said it earlier, Willy Adames is going yard tonight, and I'm drawing a blank on who my other one was. So go to yours, and I'll come back to who I know is hitting a home run. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go to all right. I was going to go to Chris Taylor there, but I can't do it. I'm going to go to the Marlins. I'm going to go to my guy, Friday Night Burger for dinner here. Jake Berger, going to get back on the home run track here against the lefty in good hitting conditions against Mr. Sanchez there. So that's where I'm going.
All right, I got it. I just remember it. My hometown boy from where I'm from. Sorry I did it to you, Mr. Reynolds. Brian Reynolds batting in the 2-hole. My low-owned stack, the Pirates. Reynolds is going yard. Willy Adames is going yard. Nades' boy is going yard with the burger. We're going all the way. 3-run, home run parlay. Let's go get paid tonight, Nades.
Let's do it. Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in. All of you, if you guys have not hit that like button, hit that like button on the way out. We appreciate it a ton. After this video is over, if you guys want to drop your favorite stacks, your favorite pitchers in the chat, we do look at those comments on the videos, not these live comments, but the video after the video is published and posted. Those comments we could go back and look at for giveaways, and we definitely appreciate that interaction. But that's going to do it. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Happy Friday. Good luck in your contest tonight. Good luck this weekend if you're playing college football tomorrow, and definitely the first NFL Sunday. I'm ready for NFL Red Zone to be back on my multiple TVs here, watching the Packers. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll have you covered with all the shows right here on this channel, and my guy Hamwich and I will be recording that Sunday Night Football Showdown show tomorrow. That's going to do it. Hamwich, I'm Nades. We'll catch you guys next time.